Well, hey folks, welcome back to Good Enough Customs. So, I got new daily. It needs to be dropped. It's a two-wheel drive Yukon. It's a 15. It's got low miles, 78,000 miles. It's had a bunch of paint work done on it. Some of it not very well, but I don't care. It's a solid, good running truck. But yeah, we're gonna do a 4-inch drop in the rear, 2-inch drop in the front, and just kind of get this guy down a little bit. So I did what I usually do when it comes to stuff like this most times is I find the cheapest way to do this possible, and maybe use questionable parts. I don't know. I got on eBay and started poking around, and I found a 2.4 drop from, I believe it was Crown Suspension, rear springs, shock extenders, and knuckles. And I believe these knuckles are raw metal. They look to be, maybe a little bit of oil on them because they're a little gross feeling. So rather than let these guys flash up and rust real bad over time, I'll probably clean these and shoot them with some paint just to make them look a little bit better. But yeah, pretty much all we're going to do is swap out the rear springs and add those shock extenders on. That way the springs, or the shock still has its full travel, and we're not bottoming it out since we're dropping it about 4 inches in the rear. And then the front won't change anything. All the steering geometry, suspension geometry, everything stays the same. We're literally just taking the hub and moving it up a couple inches, which drops the front of the truck a couple inches. So already put a tape measure on here. I am 38 inches from there to the ground, and round about 38 inches, and same here, round about 36 inches from there to the ground. So that should put me at 34 inches up front and 34 inches out back. Kind of get rid of that little rake that it's got right now, because it's not a bad rake, but it's a little bit. But yeah, drop it down just a little bit. It'll look a little sportier. Maybe I won't get quite as many soccer mom jokes. Just whatever, it doesn't matter. It is a mom-mobile, but hey, it's a comfortable ride, and it was a hell of a lot cheaper than the trucks with similar mileage. So, so I'll take it. Yeah, I already got the air compressor fired up, so I guess I'm gonna get out the jack, and I guess we're gonna get started on this. Just ran through the knuckles and got them sprayed down with some brake clean. Try to get the grease and crap off of them, because they're, so it don't flash rust, all that fun stuff. The next step is a little bit of torch. So what we're gonna do is I was gonna fire up my little gas torch here, and we're just gonna go over this thing, and we're not trying to put a ton of heat into it. We're just trying to evaporate any leftover oil or grease or brake clean or whatever, cast material. It tends to absorb stuff. So try to do this, that way the paint has a better chance of sticking and staying. So so I'm going to take and do that, and that should help the paint to stick around for a while. Also kind of gets rid of some of the impurities that could be lurking in the cast. Same thing I did whenever I painted the big block over there that's been sitting for a couple 3 years now. Looking for a home eventually. But yeah, so we're gonna torch this guy up real quick. This won't take very long, and then once I get these guys cleaned, heated up, crap burned off of it, what have you, then I'm just gonna hit it with some oh, what is this stuff? I can never remember it. The Duplicolor engine and enamel with ceramic. We're just gonna hit it with some of that. It's a matte black. It looks fine. It sticks amazingly well. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully I don't run out of gas. You can see it kind of changed colors. Maybe you can see it, I don't know. It's changing the color. You can actually see it sweating a little bit. Maybe not the best idea to do this on a wooden piece of wood on the sawhorse, but yeah, it's kind of the idea. So I'm just going to do this on both the knuckles, and it's really satisfying to watch. It's almost like pressure washing. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get some paint on it once it cools back off, and then we'll move along. I'm gonna go ahead and spray this side since it's done, and I don't want to contaminate it with my fingers. flipping it over. So we'll go ahead and shoot this side. I'm not too worried about these machined surfaces right now. I can come back with a Scotch-Brite and knock the paint back off of those. I'm not going to aim to paint those, but if I get a little overspray on them, it's not going to kill it. And then I can also come back with a little lacquer thinner and clean up the surfaces here. So here we go. First coat's always a little haze coat. Just something for it to stick to. And now a heavy coat. And this is going on a suspension piece, so, you know, I am not concerned if it's got some dry edges and all that fun crap. Who cares? This is mostly just to keep it from looking like crap when it starts, you know, because it will flash rust with it just being cast. So this is just to keep it from looking like crap down the road. You ain't got to lay this on and make it look super nice. It's just trying to keep it from rusting up. So we'll let this sit and dry and do its thing. And while that's happening, I guess I'm going to go jack the truck up, pull the front wheels, and get it on stands. And hopefully by then, this will be done drying. And then I can flip them, do the other side again. Gonna have to cook it, a little bit of gas, and get it heated up real good, and then come back, hit it with some paint. So I'm gonna do all that, and I'll be back. All right, wheels off. So here's what we got to do. We got to break loose tie rod, get this guy off, get our whatchamajiggy for the tone ring, get this little bracket off, upper and lower ball joints, and take off the whole brake caliper. And then we get to deal with this fun little Torx screw to pull the rotor off. Then we can pull the hub assembly off. I thought about replacing the hub assemblies since I'm going to have everything apart anyways, you know, more sensuous stuff. Again, trying to do this on a budget. So no, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to reuse it. It's only got 78,000 miles. That thing should be good for quite some time. So yeah, I guess I'm going to get started on this. Oh, and when we go to break and loose the ball joints and stuff, I'm actually going to move my floor jack underneath here so that strut doesn't like push everything down further than it needs to be, just to kind of support everything, make sure everything kind of stays where it's supposed to be. So yeah, let's get started. All right, got the hub off, brake rotor, all that, you know, obviously everything's off, except for now I just got a tie rod and upper and lower ball joints, and this guy will be ready to come out. Already went in there. I had the nuts, or the bolts on the brakes were quite aggravating, but so I had to take a little breather. So while I did that, I went inside, cleaned up the other side of the new knuckles. So went ahead and got that done. So those guys are good to go, and yeah, here we are. All right, I'm gonna get these guys off, and hopefully by then those things will be dry and I can get them mounted up. All right, knuckle is off. It's been a minute since I've worked on newer stuff, and I do have to say it's nice that you know, they give you basically Allen head pieces for each one of these. So in case the ball joint's spinning or something, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, let me just put this on here and let her rip. So that came off pretty easy. Bottom one broke right loose, no issue there. Top one I had to beat on it a minute to get it to break loose, but you can see here, you know, the positions of the opening for the wheel bearing, you know, how he's moved up and he's where he is. So yeah, so that's where the lowering comes from, in case you didn't know. But yeah, got her all off, knocked out, ready to go. So now time for reassembly. Definitely going to need to do an alignment. So, first problem, not sure if it's a problem yet or not. So, this kit came with absolutely no instructions. So, I don't know if there's any weird trimming or things that I have to do different. One thing's for sure, to get the top bolt for the hub back in, I got to break the ball joint loose again. Game of Tetris over here, trying to figure out where I can move stuff in order to get clearance to get a ratchet in here. There we go. The only thing really left to do after I put the wheel back on is, once I get the weight of the truck on it, I'll go through and tighten up those ball joints one more time. So yeah, not too bad, especially on a lower mileage, newer vehicle. All right, I'll be back when it's time to tackle the rear end. It's a warm day today. Wow. But it's not as humid as it has been, so it's bearable. But front's done, got her down. Definitely noticeably lower. So I'm not gonna worry about measuring just yet. Now it really looks raked out because, you know, the rear end's still factory height. So she's got a nice little rear up in the air type thing going on. But yeah, I'm not gonna measure it just now. I'm gonna have to move it, you know, get the suspension settled back in from the front, specifically the front, probably the rear too, to an extent. But yeah, once I roll it back and forth a little bit, maybe take it for a little rip around the neighborhood or around the corner, then come back and I'll put tape to it and see what our final measurements are. But all right, now to the rear. The rear doesn't seem like it's going to be as bad because, like I said, it's just springs and shock extenders. These are super easy to put on. I've put these on lower trucks before. Rear springs on these, I've never dealt with the rear end on one of these. In my head, it seems jack up the rear end until I got full droop on the suspension, and then I should be able to pull the springs out, put these in, and then ease her down, and that should be all she needs. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't dealt, like I said, I haven't dealt with one of these suspensions before on the rear end. So we'll dive into that here in just a minute. I'm gonna get me some water, and yeah, we'll jump back into it. So I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Let's climb up underneath here and see what we got. So I'm actually really glad that I decided to do the rear end second, because it's right around midday, so it is hot outside. All right, here's what we got. There's spring right there. So I don't really see anything. Maybe it just sits there. Like I said, I am very unfamiliar, so I don't know if it has like a retainer clip or anything like that. Doesn't seem like it does. Just has a little isolator pad on this end, and probably same thing up there. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna jack the rear end up and put some stands on it and let it droop. See if we can't pull these springs out. I might have to disconnect the sway bar. Hopefully not, but I might have to. The sway bar may have to come off to let it droop all the way down, but I don't know. All right, well, let's see what fun we can get into on this one. And then our shock relocation brackets are just gonna go right here and bring this down. So, all right, I'll be back once I jack this guy up and put him on stands. We'll figure something out. All right, progress. Disconnected sway bar end links and pulled the shocks loose, because you can see I was able to droop it down much further than the shocks are gonna let me go. And my springs are now loose, so I can finagle those guys out of there. And got all my new crap sitting over here on the ground just waiting to go on. So Yeah, not too bad. Just jacked it up pretty high, threw my floor jacks in, jack stands in, just up there on the frame. That way the rear end can droop. Pulled these guys, dropped the rear end, boom, got access, ready to go. So if I can figure out a place to set the camera up, I'll do that. But otherwise I'll be back in just a few. And in case anybody was wondering, this end link takes a 19 on the inside piece and an 18 for the nut, and I believe it was a 21 for the shock mount, or for the shock bolt. Yeah, it was a 21. So 21 millimeter for the shock, 18 and 19 for your sway bar end link, and that'll get those guys off and out of the way. All right, let's pull this turkey out and let's see what we're working with. Maybe. Oh wow, those are stretched. My ABS sensors are really taut. Yeah, they're pretty stretched out. Yeah, I'm not sure at this point. These little spring isolators, and I guess the cup that they sit on is maybe I can get it to, there we go. Maybe. There we go. Yeah. Luckily for me, the new springs are much shorter. There's our new spring compared to the old. It is definitely a lot shorter. Should be a hell of a lot easier to get in there. Okay. Let's see. There. All right. That side in. I'm gonna go do the other side, and we'll pick back up after I get the other side done. All right, jacking up the rear end, and basically just making sure the spring is going where it needs to live. This side should be good. I gotta go to the other side. Yep. Whew. I'd say those guys are about where they need to be. So we'll go up just a little bit more just to make sure they're in there. And probably start working these end links back on. Oh, there we go. So that is going like that. Yeah, let's do it this way. All right, everything is loosely fastened. Of course, the bolts they send, only one set of them actually match up. So for the front, that's an 18 millimeter, which I have. The new bolts for back here in the back, those are 22s, which I don't have. So got to go get those. I can cinch this guy down, cinch them, cinch him, cinch him, and then we put this on the ground. It's actually one of the easiest drop kits I think I've ever put on. This is amazing. All right, I'll be back. Moment of truth. Let's let her down. Let's see what breaks. Oh wait, Forgot I gotta take the jack stands out. It ain't gonna go very far this way. Hang on. All right, let's try this again without the jack stands. All right, here we go. A little faster than I was looking to. Oh, wow. Yeah. Significant difference. Holy crap. Yeah, the front end's definitely sitting a little high right now, but again, it probably just needs to settle in a little bit. So, wow. I hope it just needs to settle in a little bit. Right now it's a little squatted. Not a big fan of that, but I don't know. I'll get all my crap picked up and take it for a ride around. Wow, that is significantly lower in the back. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna take it for a little rip and see if this front end settles in just a little bit, and we'll check back and put the tape to it. Alrighty, took her out for a spin, and yeah, looks like it settled in a little bit, and front end came on down, rear end. I will say the ride quality is pretty much the same. Maybe it's a little bouncy in the back end now. It could probably deal with a little stiffer shock, which eventually I'll upgrade to shock. You know, these are the factory stock shocks, so eventually I'll upgrade them to something else, but for now it'll work. But like I said, it is a little bouncy. The wind decided to pick up right as I'm starting to measure, so let's see where we're sitting at. What was we at? 38? Yeah, 38, maybe a hair over. So we are at 34.5 ish. Not bad. The front, I believe, is at 36. Yeah, 36 on the front. I don't know, I can't remember. Rewind and tell me. And just under 34.5. I did put a tape on it before I left just to see, and it was like 35 and change. So it settled about an inch, you know, being on the road. Again, 34, actually about 34.25, but if I remember right, this side was a little different on its height. It wasn't quite the same as the other side. Whatever, no big deal. Come on, man. Wind's getting me. All right, so this corner is 34.75. So passenger rear, a little taller, about a 1/4 inch or so. Now, I will say the measurements from earlier was with, basically I had an empty tank. I just hadn't been to the gas station. Been riding the motorcycle since the rain finally stopped. It starts back up again tomorrow, but whatever. Oh yeah, Jackson got him a new bike, so he did good this time. He got something that has a title and runs, so we're making improvements. Anyways, but she sits pretty level, so I'm pretty tickled. The only thing I think that's going to get me and going to aggravate me a little bit is back here on the tailgate. I used to be able to just walk directly under it. Now I'm gonna hit my head if I ain't paying attention, so whatever, it's fine. But yeah, pretty tickled. I will say the kit does come, actually I'm gonna go inside where it's not quite as hot. Well, all right, so all in all, pretty doggone good kit. Like I said, I think it was Crown Suspension is the name on it. Generic eBay, it was 430 bucks. I did look at Beltec. I do like the Beltec kits. I did look at Beltec, and theirs came with shocks and struts, and it was like $1150, something like that. It was a little over $1,000. Like, this thing's only got 78,000 miles. Shocks are fine, struts are fine, everything fine. So I was like, there's no need to spend that extra money. So 450 bucks really roughly is what I spent on this guy. Unfortunately, didn't have any instructions with it, but it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. The one little caveat I will say is my Yukon doesn't have the mag ride or the auto level air suspension for the rear and all that stuff. It's just basic when it comes to the suspension side of it. It does come, the kit did come with these little guys. These would be for the air ride level adjuster sensor, height sensors. Yeah, height sensors for the air ride. So those would have to be changed out if you had the air ride for the rear of that thing. But mine doesn't, so I don't have to worry about it. Yeah. What y'all guys think? It really wasn't too bad. Mine is the painting and the prepping for the knuckles. That probably took a half hour, 45 minutes to do all the stuff there. I've only been at it for about 3 hours. So probably 2.5, a little over 2 hours to do the actual suspension parts. Now granted, it's a Southern truck. It's low miles. It hasn't seen salt. It's the entire under the side of that thing is just ridiculously clean. So I had no bolts to fight with. I didn't have to fight with the hub, getting it out of the knuckle. I didn't have to fight with anything. The upper ball joint gave me a little bit of a fit, but a few good whacks with the hammer and they popped right out. So, I mean, everything moved really smoothly. So, I mean, this is a pretty quick afternoon job. Although I didn't do it in the afternoon, I chose to do it right in the smack middle of the day when it was, there's no shade. But anyways, what do y'all guys think? I like the ride height now. I think it looks a lot better. Kind of takes some of that soccer mom look out of it. I may start flirting with going to like a 22-inch wheel. Those are 20s that are on it right now. So 22 may look a little bit better on there. I'm not going to go crazy. I have to keep reminding myself this is a daily. Typically, I just drive the dailies. I usually don't do a damn thing to them because I'm like, it's a daily. It needs to be dependable. It doesn't need to have a bunch of weird crap going on with it. But that needed to be lowered. I'm not putting it on the ground. It's not slammed, but it did need to be lowered a little bit just to look right. So, but it's not like I'm gonna go in there and start doing some crazy stuff to the motor or anything like that. Although I could. No, I'm not going to. Bad Matt. So yeah, like I said, I might go to like a 22-inch wheel if I can find them for a good price, or if I can trade up with a little bit of cash or something. Maybe I can find a good 22 to slap on there. I think that would look a little bit better, a little bit cleaner. And then I got to do the paint work for the roof, where that the roof of that truck just really is in poor shape. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that guy. I'm just going to drive it, enjoy it. But I guess that's all I got for you fine folks today. It's supposed to rain all weekend, so maybe I get back out here and work on this guy a little bit. I got a few holes to cut, and a few little tweaks to do because metal decided to move here. So my lines aren't quite lining up again, but I got a few things to do here. So maybe it's supposed to be raining this weekend. Maybe I'll come out here and do some work on good old Steve, get a few more steps ahead there. But anyhow, if y'all guys like the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed and made it this far, why not? Just go ahead and subscribe, man. Don't cost nothing. Just helps the channel grow. So if y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, throw those down below. I do read through them all. And if you want to follow me on social media, I don't post a ton on social media. It's very, very few and far between. But if you do want to follow me, that information is listed down in the description. Well, I do appreciate y'all guys watching, and look forward to seeing y'all guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. And just remember, folks, it ain't got to be perfect. It's good enough. And I reckon we'll see y'all guys next time.